Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and today we are discussing Pokopia because this week we are getting the Pokopia DLC as well as both the free version and the paid version, the first part of the paid version. Um, which is going to include Bubbly Basin. Now, we're probably not going to be playing Bubbly Basin for a little bit, just due to, uh, yeah, stuff going on right now. But we we can talk about it and get kind of excited about it because, yeah, on Wednesday we are getting the official release, and with it is going to come the ability to dive underwater, which I'm really excited to see how that's going to work out. Um, with both Manaphy coming in, and I think they also confirmed that whatchamadoodle, um, Feebas and Milotic are also coming in with that. I could be wrong about exact details, but I think that's what's coming on, what's happening at that point. Let me see. Does this have? Maybe here? No. I don't know. There's probably I think there was some news. I don't remember when exactly it's happening. But I think that with the update is coming a Feebas and Milotic collab thing. Yeah, here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, sorry. It's starting a little bit later. It's starting on August 13th through the 28th is when the Feebas and Milotic event starts. Yeah. So that's gonna come with like a few beach items, which is fun. We can talk about that in a little bit. But I think another thing that we should talk about really quick before we get too far into this discussion is that this will be the last nerd chat that is numbered. Um, we This is a nerd chat 190, and we've kind of been discussing this for a while. Um, is that the numbering system, it's not completely accurate, I don't think. I've tried to keep it as accurate as possible, but I think like because some of these have been live streamed and we've also done like some extra bonus ones and stuff like that, the numbering system isn't completely accurate. But that's fine. But yeah, we're gonna end with this being 190. Um, but yeah. So, what are your immediate thoughts on the DLC before I go too much into details about it?
It looks really cool. I'm super excited that I'm gonna get to go underwater. That's gonna be really fun.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that is extremely exciting. I think like the thing that I'm most excited about is the fact that it looks like all of the water starter I think all of the water starters are going to be in the game after that. I think. I could be wrong about that because already we have Squirtle. And then what was the other water one? We have one other water one, I think. Oh, Piplup. We have Piplup already. They've confirmed Totodile, Mudkip, and Poplio, which just leaves who's that leave at this point? Um, that leaves the Gen 5 one. Froakie is already in the game, so never mind. But yeah, Oshawott. We're missing Oshawott. We're missing um who's Gen 7? Oh no, Gen 7 is Poplio. Gen 8 is I'm forgetting who Gen 8 was. Do you remember who Gen 8 was?
Oh gosh.
I know that Gen 9 is Quackly.
Actually,
Quaxley, thank you. I can't speak. Gen 8, who was Gen 8? That was Gal. Oh, it's Sobble. Sobble. So we need so yeah, we need Sobble, we need Quaxley, and we need Oshawott. I think those are the only ones that have yet to be confirmed. Um, but everyone else has been confirmed at this point, I believe. It's loud. Um, but yeah, I believe that the extend. Let's see here. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of new water Pokemon coming in. I think that pretty much every Pokemon that's going to be added in Bubbly Basin itself is a water Pokemon. Um, maybe like one or two of them are not. Um, but it would probably be all of the ones that are going to all of the ones that can swim. Even if they're not necessarily a water type Pokemon. So I think that there's like some dragon types that can swim that aren't in the game yet. I don't remember exactly. Um, and so on and so forth. Uh, but I don't think. Obviously, Manaphy and probably Fiona is probably also going to be in the update. I think Manaphy has been confirmed that Manaphy is going to be the one who teaches you dive, so that's fun. Um, and that's going to be part of the free update. And then I'm assuming that probably once you've gotten Manaphy, and there's probably going to be like some story aspect to add Fiona, is my guess, because I don't think they're going to add one of them and not the other. Um,
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
yeah, and like obviously, if there is a Pokemon that has been confirmed that basically confirms its entire line, I don't think there's a single Pokemon where they didn't have some, if where they only had like one part of the line in Pokopia. Um, like I guess with Scyther, they didn't have Cleavor. They didn't have the Cleavor. They didn't have Cleavor. So if it got added like later and isn't like like it's a split evolution, then maybe it's not in there. But yeah. Um, from what I've seen, it looks like you will be able to plant. You'll be able to do like pretty much every single build will be able to go under the water as well as on the surface. Um,
Nice.
so that's good. But there are certain things like based off of what we've seen for the DLC is that there is going to be some requirements in order to be able to grow certain plants under the water, because they're adding watermelon, and they specifically showed that that watermelon needed air in order to grow, and that might just be something that's part of Bubbly Basin specifically, and like all other crops are able to grow underwater. But because we haven't really gotten a chance to test that around yet, it's unclear. Um, but so they confirmed Poplio, they confirmed a few others. I think Corsola was confirmed. Stunfisk was confirmed. Um, quite a few other Pokemon were confirmed. They've I don't know. We'll see what how much is actually happening. But another thing that's kind of like on my mind immediately is like, do we think that there are going to be any Pokemon that are going to be added just in the free update besides like Fiona and Manaphy?
I don't know. I would hope so.
Yeah, me too. Um my assumption would be that there would I don't know. It has like obviously certain I don't expect any of the Pokemon that were revealed in Bubbly Basin to be available until afterwards. Um but yeah, like Carvana's been confirmed, Corfish, Buizel has been confirmed, um Chinchou has been confirmed. Chinchou is going to be our main electric guy, which is makes sense. Um for the underwater. That's funny, honestly. I'm very curious how the electric side of things is going to work when it comes to Bubbly Basin specifically. Because I don't think we see any use of the poles under the water. I assume that the wireless transmitters probably work underwater, but I feel like the wired ones probably don't. Is my guess. And
Yeah.
it's also going to be very interesting to see like how different blocks are going to be able to float and which ones are going to be able to float and which ones are not going to be able to float. Um the glowing coral looks really interesting. Looks like there's going to be like some cave that you're going to have to explore in order to, that's going to be like some very important story stuff. Um and also based off of what I'm seeing in the trailer, it looks like we will probably have some interesting aspects to do with being able to swim. Well, I don't know. Swim is kind of a weird situation. There's a lot of weird stuff with it. One thing that they did confirm is that there is going to be a new plushie, um, and it's going to be Starmie or Staryu. I forget which one is the big one.
Stormy.
Starmie. Okay, so yeah, it's the big one, Starmie, and so that's gonna be a new plushie. I kind of figured that there was gonna be a new island. Part of me does wonder if it's gonna work differently, and maybe it's not gonna have as much connection to uh to Drifloon. I think it still probably will be Drifloon, but because of the fact that it can be underwater, I part of me wonders if like Drifloon is not going to come to you when you're in like say an underwater area, but he will come to you if you're in a non-water area. Um
Um,
it's hard to say. Um but honestly a lot of the different blocks are looking really interesting. There's like seaweed and new crafts and stuff like that. Um I I'm really I wish that I could say more than just like I'm really excited about it. But they've shown like a ton of different things, and like dissecting the trailer feels like it's going to be a pain in the backside to do. Um we do see like Delmise is in there, freaking um Galissapod, the Frillish line, um, that other fish that I'm blanking on its name, the one that looks like a butterfly. Um,
Love Disc.
no, the other one. The one that has two stages.
Oh,
But yeah. Um, and then yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. They haven't really talked too much about like the next update, the second because there is a part 2 that has been confirmed. We know that there are going to be there's going to be 3 parts to the DLC. Uh so obviously there's this one that's coming out in a few days, Wednesday to be precise. Um Then there's going to be part 2, which is going to add accessories into the game, as well as like you can have your Pokemon, the other Pokemon wear accessories, and it's going to add Snubble. But they haven't really talked too much about that, which makes sense because it's supposedly late this year. And then they haven't talked at all about part 3, um, which all we know is that it's going to be sometime next year, and it's going to add a new town.
oh,
So yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't want to go too much in depth when it comes to my theories about like what's going to happen when it comes to the expansions after Bubbly Basin, but yeah. I don't know. It's very exciting. I think that's like the big thing. Um and we really don't know all of the details about what's going to be added, what's not going to be added. Um We do know that there is like a new block that that can float, which is fun. I'm very excited to see how that's going to work out. Um, so you can just free place it in the water. Part of me wonders if that's going to be something that you'll be able to free place in the air as well, or if it's just going to be in the water. Um, I would assume that's probably going to be something that you can just free place in the water, not in the air. Um, because it specifically calls them buoyant blocks. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. Um, but yeah, that's going to be very, very fun to see how that's going to work. Um, I guess another question is like, which water Pokemon are you most excited to see?
Um,
Even if it hasn't been confirmed, which one would you be most excited to see?
I'd love to see Mudkip.
Yeah, Mudkip's been confirmed, and I think that he's going to be like one of the major ones that's going to be played, that they're going to use.
Nice.
So yeah, for Bubbly Basin. Um,
Mudkip is my baby. He'll always be my favorite. He was my first starter ever.
fair. Oh my god. But yeah, one sec. Let me see if I can find the video. So the Japan YouTube channel did a few shorts. Um and for Bubbly Basin. Not too many, only like 3. But let me see. So that's that one. That's just yeah, so this is just the same information in the trailer. Then they did some ones to kind of like show off the different habitats. And what they did something really weird. So they did 2 of these videos about habitats. And the first so they showed off Corsola's habitat, they showed off Stunfisk's habitat, and they showed off Mudkip's habitat. And then they have a guy who has like a Stunfisk hat on, um, briefly there. And then they did something really weird that confuses me. They did the exact same thing, but swapped out Stunfisk for uh, um, something that uses like some bars and seaweed, and it spawns Carvana. And then there's like a instead of having a Carvana hat, he has like this weird pufferfish hat.
Huh.
And it's like it's not a Pokemon that exists. Like maybe they just didn't make a hat for Carvana, but why did they show that hat? And it's the exact same guy for this post. And it's just like, is that a new Pokemon? Is that like a hint at a new Pokemon or what? I don't.
Interesting.
And like that's yeah. So Carvana, and then they just yeah. Like maybe it makes more sense in like like if you fully understand Japanese, but it's just like, huh, what the heck is that about? I don't know.
Maybe the hat was just a hat.
Maybe the hat is just a hat is absolutely possible, but it's just like that's odd to me. I don't know. They're the fact I think it's mostly just the fact that that it's the exact same video, just one has well, maybe not the exact same video, but very similar videos. One has Carvana, one has Stunfisk, but then after Carvana is like this weird fish thing, and I don't know, it's weird. Um, but yeah. Another thing that's also like kind of on my mind is, do you think that you're gonna use the Ditto block, the Ditto wallpaper, or the Ditto floor?
Probably not.
I think that yeah, so that just comes with the game, I think. Yeah. That is that's weird. I think that's just like such a bizarre aspect. I don't know. It's funny, it's weird, but at the same time, I don't think anyone's gonna use it. It's not like the Ditto rug where it's like, oh yeah, I can see people using this. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess another. So as I'm looking through the pictures and stuff, part of me wonders if like some of the Ditto stuff is like the outfits that Ditto is wearing. I think May's outfit already exists, right? Oris May.
Yeah.
That one already exists? Okay. I was pretty sure that already existed. I don't think that there's any hints at like Ditto's outfits in like the pictures or the video, but I was just like thinking about that. Um I think I don't know. I am very excited to see how Ditto is going to play how we're going to play with Ditto and continue on with the journey in Bubbly Basin. Um Also, like, I don't know. It's so many pretty blocks. I think that that's going to be another fun aspect to play with, is like what we want to do with all of the different blocks that are being added, because there are a lot. There are absolutely a lot of different blocks that are going to be added and that we're going to get to play with. And it's going to be, I think, probably the thing that I'm most intrigued about when it comes to that is yeah, what Pokemon are going to be added? Like the fact that we have 300 Pokemon in the base game, with a few extra because of like um the events and stuff. So with 300, so that has so the base game has 300 Pokemon, and it has 4/5 towns, depending on how you want to put it. So I think the question for me, anyways, is um how many Pokemon is that gonna add? Let's just say that's 300 for for 4 towns. That would practically mean like what, almost 100, like 75 per town, give or take. And that's it is a lot. It is a lot of Pokemon for a town. But also, like, there are so many Pokemon that exist in Pokemon. So are they gonna add like 75 water type Pokemon into this game? I don't know if they're gonna do that. Um, like if we go to Bulbapedia, actually, I think that's probably the best answer for this. Um, let's see. Where is my mouse? Where is my mouse? Where is my mouse? There it is. Water type. Like, let's see here. Have. Seal isn't in the game yet. Shelter isn't in the game. Crappy. Horsey. I would love Horsey in the game. Honest,
True.
like, actually, now that I'm looking briefly through this, I'm like, oh yeah, there's so many Pokemon. Just from Kanto, for the ones that we don't have, there's Seal, Shelter, Krabby, Horsey, Goldeen, Staryu, and yeah, that's it. So those are the ones that are pure water. That's just the pure water types. Um, and that's just Kanto. Like we that's not even including like Tentacool, Slowpoke, um, Lapras is already in the game, but yeah, um, so all of those, not and then like yeah, then there's so many other ones. And that's just Kanto. I'm sure that they're gonna add like pretty much some Pokemon from every single region. Oh, Omanite, Kabuto. So yeah, which we don't have either of those guys. That would actually make a lot of sense if those two are like some of the fossil Pokemon that are missing still. Um, are there any other fossil Pokemon that we're missing that are water type specifically? I
The turtle
guess
one.
the turtle. Oh yeah, yeah. Tortuga. Tortuga is we still need. So yeah, we could use Tortuga. Um, we could use I guess Dracovish and Arctovish are also water type. Um, but I don't think that they're gonna add Dracovish. If they're gonna, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if they're going to add the um the abomination fossils, I think they're gonna add all four of them together, and they're gonna be something that you can only get like and it's probably gonna be with the next update, and then maybe like each one only can go to one specific region as like this is the one that they like the most and they kind of hate it. Um like they hate the specific region that they're in, but they're like this is the only option for me that's actually nice. I don't know.
Fair.
I would like to see the abominations at some point, but I also know that that is probably not going to happen. I don't know. Um yeah, we already have the Tatsugiris. We already have Cramorant. We don't have Wimpod. We don't have Marini. I think that those two could absolutely be added.
Yeah.
Scrup would be nice. Uh, Binacle and Barbaracle would be nice. The Spheal line would be nice. I don't think they're gonna add Surskit because Surskit is a bug mostly and wants to be above the surface. Um,
True.
so I don't think they're gonna do that. I think that the Omanite and Omastar, I think that, or sorry, Omanite and Kabuto lines, I think that both of those guys could be, if they're going to add any fossils, those two make the most sense along with Tortuga, like you said. Um, uh, Veluza would be kind of funny, but I don't think that they're necessarily going to do that. The Basculin line, the Dreadnought line would be fun. I don't think they're going to do that though. Bruxish would be fun. Tapu Fini as like one of the legendaries that they could do. Um, Dewpider, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think any of the bugs are gonna get added because they are. Well, I don't know. Dewpider and Araquanid, they have the bubbles so that they can be underwater, or so that they can be on the surface. So I guess they could be underwater. They could do some underwater stuff with them. That would actually be really funny if like Dewpider and a Araquanid, like they created those bubbles when they're above the water, but then we can actually see them without the bubbles when they're in the water. That could be fun.
That would be interesting.
Ducklet and Swanna are mostly they are aquatic, they are air. They'd like to live up in the air, so that's probably not going to happen. Um, the Palpitoad line could be fun. Um, Mantike would be fun. Though I don't necessarily know if they would. Well, I think they could do Mantike. They could do Relicanth, um, the Barboach line. Pretty much any. I expect to see a lot of fish Pokemon. Pretty much anything that is specifically a fish. I think that it's reasonable to assume. Like Quillfish would make sense. Um, the Barboach line, like I said. Uh, Obviously we know Chinchou's going to be in there. Cloyster would be nice. I think that that would be very fun. Dugong would be nice. The Slowpoke line, we obviously have. We have Slowpoke and do we have Slowbro? I don't. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm not sure. No, we have Slowbro. We have Slowbro. We have Slowbro, and we have Slowking. Um, we don't have Tentacool. That would be fun. Um, I don't think they're going to add. I don't want to say I don't think period that they're going to do any of these guys, but I don't think it's likely that we're going to see any of the Pokemon specifically from Winds and Waves until after um either after the game comes out or like way closer to when the game comes out.
Yeah,
So maybe like the new town is gonna have like a whole that could be something that could be fun where it's like it's actually like a specific town um from the new region. We don't even know what that region is going to be called yet, do we? Um,
nope,
Dondoza would be nice to see. The Finizen line, the Wiglet line. Oh my gosh, why are there so many Pokemon that would be absolutely amazing to see in the game? Pyukumuku would be hilarious. Wishy Washy. Oh my gosh, if there's like a whole shit ton of Wishy Washy and they form into the school form, that would be amazing.
that'd be cool.
Honestly, actually, that would be. I think that would be really interesting to see if standard wishy washy. You could just see maybe like that's like the first one that you can find. That's a fairly easy one to find, and then the school form happens, and like maybe that one just feels a little bit left out or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
It would be weird. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think that would be kind of just like out of left field for them. But yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I could see like a Lomomola, the Basculin line. I actually really hope that if they add the three Basculins, if they add just the two Basculins, I'm gonna be annoyed. But if they add all three and then you can also get Basculegion, that's gonna be awesome.
that would be cool.
Um, I don't necessarily think that they would add the monkeys with this update. Um, but
Which
yeah,
is sad because I love the elemental monkeys.
yeah. That's fair. I think that just because of the fact that this one is so focused on water, I don't think that they're gonna add anyone. I don't think they're gonna add any of the Pokemon that are not specifically water types, or they're not specifically from the water, I should say. Um, and yeah, so I like one thing I would also like to see, even if they have to wait a little bit on this, is give Kyogre just a place that he can stay. Because it's so sad to me that uh he's just swimming in the ocean and then he comes and visits you a few times and that's it. You don't get to give him a home or anything like that. That just I know he's big and that's part of the reason why he doesn't get a home. But I wish that Kyogre could get a home. I want to give Kyogre a home. Um but yeah. I don't know. I'm just like looking briefly over like all of the different water Pokemon, and it's like there are a lot. There's a lot of water type Pokemon, and like I don't necessarily like there is in the trailer they do show Corsola or they show so obviously they show Corsola, but there's also a picture of a Corsola lamp, and that makes me want um Galarian Corsola and Cursula in the game. So I don't know. I guess that is actually a question. Um, do we think that alternate forms of certain Pokemon are going to show up? So like take for example Wooper. Let's say Wooper. Do we think that Wooper is going to get added? For Wooper and Quagsire are going to get added considering the fact that Paldean Wooper and Clodsire are currently in the game.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I like Wooper. I like both Woopers. They're fun. Um, and honestly, I think that there's very little reason, in my opinion, to not have the um the alternate forms, at least in some degree. And I think it could be like some really interesting images or something where they're like, oh yeah, this is this Pokemon, this is that Pokemon, and their interactions could be really freaking funny. Like, let's say that we get like Wiglet and like currently we have Diglett. If we add Wiglet, like that's gonna be freaking hilarious. Just seeing those two interacting. Um, I don't know. I don't know how exactly they're gonna play with that, but I like Wiglet. I like Diglett, and I like Alolan Diglett as well. That one's fun as well. Yeah. Um. Speaking of which, why am I not finding Wiglet anymore? Or is Wiglet? Is Wiglet pure water? It is pure water. I didn't. Why did I not think that? I don't know. But yeah. Oh, and we've already talked a bit about this about Finizen and Palafin if they ever add that, and how like Finizen could be like something pretty simple to get like his habitat, but Palafin, it needs to be like a freaking phone booth or something, and then he'll just like randomly go into the phone booth and transform into hero form. Like, that would be amazing. I would love to see that. Like, that is just pure just amazingness when it comes to Palafin. If they ever add Palafin into this game, they need to do that. Um, but yeah, I guess another question that's on my mind is, do you think that with the DLC, with the events, that they will add all 1,000 Pokemon that are currently in the games?
I'm gonna say probably not.
Probably not. I mean, you're probably right, unfortunately. Um, because it is a lot of Pokemon. It absolutely is a lot of Pokemon. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's the thing is like there are so freaking many there really are um so many Pokemon, and the thing is like getting not only making sure to get like all the different versions of the not only getting like all of the different Pokemon, but also like getting alternate forms. Like I don't necessarily expect to see like megas or Gigantamax forms or whatever, but like I would like to see like some alternate forms. Like Hisui and Growlithe and Arcanine would be amazing. Um uh Alolan Ninetales. It just like honestly the Alolan ice types would actually be really awesome. Because those guys are there's so few of them, and I would love to just have them. If they ever do, if the next region is or the next town is an ice region, please give us the Alolan ice types because they get so little respect and it's just sad. Um but yeah, like a Alolan Grimer would be awesome. Yeah, various different forms. And like yes, it's like 1,000 what is the freaking number at this point even? 1,025 I want to say. Something like that. Do you remember?
Hmm. No,
uh
I don't.
Petrarunt. Yes, Petrarunt is 1,025. So, yeah, that's 1,000 different Pokemon. And that's not even including like all their different forms that they have. Like, um, the various different, like, let's say if they ever added like Poltergeist and Sinistra, like, and same thing goes for Poltergeist and Sinistee. like the alternate forms of them. Like, how would that work out with that? How would Gimme Ghoul currently we have the chest form, we don't have the other form, um, in Pokopia. Um, we don't have what was another one that was really funny? We don't have the mouse hold line, but I don't necessarily think that we will put those guys in. Well, I don't know. I'd like to see them, but at the same time, I also would understand if they decide not to. Um, I don't know. But yeah, like at this point, I don't think any Hisuian Pokemon are currently in the game, which is also sad. Like, we don't have Teddiursa or Ursaring, so that's fine. We don't have, uh, or do we have Stantler? No, I don't think we have Stantler. We don't have Basculin. We don't have Sneasel. And we don't have Quillfish, but we have. So yeah, we only one of the Hisuian versions that we have is that of Scyther, and we have Scizor, but we don't have Cleavor, which that annoys me. That annoys me a lot. Um, we have
Fair.
we I'm kind of okay with them not having like as many of the legendaries because let's be honest, legendaries should remain legendary. Um, so yeah, but like um yeah, there's like we don't have do we have more Peko? I don't think we have more Peko yet.
No.
But okay. But yeah, like various different Pokemon have various different forms, and like some of them, like if they ever added like more Peko as just like an example because I was just talking about it, they could add the fact that when maybe he could get angry every now and again and turn into his angry form. Um I don't know. Lots of different things could be very very fun to have like the different forms if they are able to change their form. And then like the ones that are different there's like a very slight difference like I said with Sinistea and Sinistra and blah 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 blah. Um there could be like an interaction between like two Sinisties that are just like, "Why are you? You're so posh and blah blah blah. You're such a jerk." And I don't know, something fun with that. Um, like they don't get along at all or something. I don't know. That could be funny. Um, I mean, we do have both versions of Why am I blanking on their name? The um, the guitar guys.
Uh, no idea.
Okay. But yeah, we do have both of those guys. Why am I blanking on his name right now? The evolved form of Toxel.
Oh, elect shock something.
Yeah, whatever their name is. Like we have both versions of those guys. So I don't really see a problem with them adding like alternate versions of various different Pokemon. And also that's another thing that kind of drives me crazy. There are alternate versions of Professor Tangrowth. There's an alternate version of Pikachu. Um, you can't get you can't get Professor Tangrowth on your Cloud Island, but you can get a standard Tangrowth. So, and that's I don't know. That's one thing that that drives me a little bit crazy about Tangrowth is that you can't get the standard Tangrowth anywhere but the Cloud Island.
Hmm.
So yeah. So you can't use him in uh like Snorlax. You can get Snorlax and Pikachu in their on your Pallet Town, but you can't get yeah, I don't know. That drives me a little bit crazy. Um But yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see like various different Pokemon to just show up, like, and various different forms as well. I think that would be a lot of fun. And for sure, I think they need to add the fossils, all of the fossils. That would be amazing. Um, especially the abomination, the Galar abominations. Those guys are just. I know that people that they're kind of haunting, but I kind of love that about them.
True.
They're just so derpy and like I don't know. And like have it be something where like uh maybe they could still be uncomfortable. I think that having them be uncomfortable is fine, but also like have like a little bit of joy in their lives. I think that would be very very fun to see like what they would do with that. In the Pokopia world is just like, yeah, these guys exist and they're living their lives or something. I don't know. Um, like they're not necessarily happy. They're not like happy to be the abominations, but they're happy that they're alive. I don't know, something like that. They're, I like them. I like the abominations. And they hardly ever bring them into anything. Like they're not in Paldea. Um, which I know that's so it's like only like one region that they haven't been in, but they're not. They haven't been in any of the other games that have come out since Galar. Um, and then meanwhile, Snom gets to be everywhere. Well, except for this, I guess Snom is not in Pokopia yet, which is that's a crying shame that Snom is not in Pokopia. Like, tell me that's just so sad that Snom is not in the game yet. Um, but yeah, honestly, like most of the Pokemon that are not yet in Pokopia, I'm just sad that they're not in there yet. Um, like all of the starters, I would love to see. I do understand if they decide not to ever add like more legendaries. I think that that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
I think they will add some more legendaries, but if it's few and far between, that is 100% understandable. Um, we already have Mewtwo, freaking the legendary birds. We have the legendary beast. We have Ho and Lugia. We have who am I forgetting? We don't have Celebi yet, but I think Celebi is probably going to be an event. Um, Pokemon at some point. Uh, who else do we have? We have we have Kyogre. We do not have Groudon, Rayquaza, Deoxys. We don't have. I don't think we have. Do we have any of the? Currently, we do not have any of the Sinnoh legends. Which is a little bit sad. But again, it makes sense. We are going to be getting Manaphy and Fione, though, so that's good. Um, I don't think we have any Unova legends. No, we don't have any of the Unova legends. Though Meloetta would make sense if they ever decide to add Meloetta. Um, I think as like an event would make sense. I think that would make the most sense for her. Um, we have Volcanion for when it comes to Kalos. I don't think we have any of the Alolan guys. But like I said, that makes a lot of sense. If anyone is gonna get added, I hope it's freaking Meltan and Marshadow. Those two would be amazing to have in Pokopia. Um, especially since like Marshadow is often just like completely forgotten, and they need to give Marshadow more love. He's so cute, and I love him. He's one of my favorite Pokemon. Um, And I think that's like that is a common thing that people really like Marshadow, but they're just really annoyed that he's a legendary, so we can't get him in a lot of things. Or I think he's a mythical,
Yeah.
so that's annoying. Um, none of the Galar star or none of the Galar legendaries are in the game. Or yeah, none of the Galar legends are in the game. Um, I don't think any Paldean ones are in the game yet either.
No.
No. No. But also there's not that many legends when it comes to Paldea. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are actually quite a few legends in Paldea. Because yeah, so there's obviously all four of the ruin guys. There's Koraidon and Miraidon, and then the past and future versions. Um I don't know. Paldea feels small, but in actuality it actually has quite a few.
True.
Um But also, like, Paldea has probably, like, the least number of Pokemon that are in Pokopia, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it is the newest region, so it's not necessarily, like, too big of a deal. But, well, I don't know. Let's see. So it's, we have, Sprigatito. Well, I don't know. I think I'm just, like, thinking that it's a lot less, but in actuality, it is the majority of them are in the game already.
Huh.
Because well, maybe not the majority, but quite a few of them. Because let's see, so we have the Sprigatito line, we have the Palmy line, we have the Dockspun line, we have the Cerulege, or we have the Cerulege, Armarouge, and I'm forgetting what the starter.
Charcadet.
It's Charcadet. Thank you.
Charcadet.
Yeah, we have them. We have Glimora and Glimmet, and we have Tatsugiri. Oh, and Clodsire. We have Clodsire. So, oh, and gimme and the Gimme Ghoul line. We don't have mini Gimme Ghoul. But that would be actually really fun if like I don't know, maybe like that um Gimme Ghoul Wanderer form. I think that would be really fun to see that be like a Pokemon that can just show up on cloud or not Cloud Islands, but Dream Islands. And they don't want to come back with you because they're searching for treasure. And maybe instead of like coming back to your home ever, instead they'll just like give you some random treasure that they found, but they don't have enough space for it or something like that.
Yeah.
That could be something really cute to see. Um I think that would also be really fun to see with Delibird if they ever do something with him. But I think that Delibird is probably going to be for a Christmas event.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a question about future events because we're only getting one more DLC, one more part of the DLC, um, this year after Bubbly Basin, right?
Right.
So the question is, what are the remaining events that are going to be happening throughout this year? Um, or actually, I guess until March, when we are back to the beginning of the game again. So, obviously for August we have the Feebas and Milotic event. September, I feel like they have to do something that's kind of related to back to school. October, we've got to have some spookiness. I really want to see a Halloween event. Um, I don't think there's really anything for Thanksgiving for November. There's not really a Thanksgiving Pokemon.
No.
So I don't, and honestly, I don't know if they would do that anyways when it comes to because they're probably gonna be focusing more on like, um,
International holidays.
yeah, like yes, America has a lot of influence over the world, but very few of them are gonna be doing Thanksgiving. So very few people care about Thanksgiving, even though it is a good holiday to have as like a reminder to be thankful for what you've got and the people around you. But yeah. Um but yeah, December obviously there's going to be the Christmas event. Honestly though, when it comes to that, I hope that they do something fun for not just Thanksgiving or not just Christmas with Delibird, but part of me would like to see something along the lines of like um some reference, even if it's just like Delibird also brings like stuff that's related to other holidays like Hanukkah. I'm forgetting the other names of the other holidays that are around that time, but yeah,
Diwali, Kwanzaa.
yeah, there's so many. There's so many freaking holidays around that time. Um, I mean, it makes sense, but yeah. So yeah, something along those lines, and then so that's so yeah, something around that point. Even if it's just like something simple, let's say that Delibird, sure, maybe it like brings like a Christmas, like its specific habitat or whatever is like a Christmas tree and presents. Let's just say that's like the example. I think that it should also have uh a menorah. Um, the thing, Kwanzaa has something also like a candle, right?
A menorah, yeah.
It is a menorah as well. I thought it was called something else.
I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a menorah.
Yeah, like whatever the Kwanzaa thing is, but like those two especially because they are the most besides Christmas, they're the most celebrated.
Yeah,
Um, but those like even if it's something that simple, like they give a menorah, they get or also a dreidel. Like that would be fun. That would just be fun to see. Like you could just it could just be like a little toy and it spins and then boom. I don't know.
yeah.
It could be fun. Um, and then obviously with the new year, and then with January, there should be a New Year event. I think that there is. Isn't there a firework Pokemon?
Ooh, I can't remember.
I feel like there's something. Uh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, New Year stuff could be like all sorts of different things. But I know that there's a lot of things to do with like Chinese New Year and Japanese New Year because they have a lot of things with that. Um, but yeah, so they could do something along those lines for January, and then uh February is probably going to be when they introduce Loved. Yeah, Love Disc and Alomomola. If they don't get added before then, they'll probably be for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Or if they might also do like the Nidoran line, that would be fun
that'd
because
be cute.
that would be very cute. Because we still don't have them. And
Yeah.
then March, I don't really think they need to do anything. They might add some more events, but I don't think that they're necessarily going to. Um,
I could see them doing a St. Patrick's Day event with something about Gimmighoul and Goldango.
yeah, that could happen. But like obviously Gimme Go and Golden Go already exist. I think like the big thing that's like on my mind specifically about the event, about if they do the event, is that they are probably going to want to make sure that they're events that they can repeat every year. Um, so yeah, and that they would be if they're going to be Pokemon that they'll add a Pokemon for it. Um, because while there is like something to do with there are certain events that happen like the jump rope mini game and the hide and seek mini game bonuses that they did. I think that they would prefer for it to be an event where a new Pokemon is something that you can only get this Pokemon for these events every year or something like that.
Yeah,
Um I what was even the reason again for well that, let's that was kind of like 4th of July, right? For uh for Jirachi, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of a fourth event, fourth of the yeah, July 4th event. But also like nobody else celebrates July 4th except for America. So I don't know. Uh it was kind of sort of, it was not really. It was more like a just summer in general event.
Yeah.
Not like I don't know. And then obviously the other event that's coming is also going to be that. Um
Right.
but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think that's the general statement. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I want to I do want to say I would absolutely love to see all of the different every single if we could. I would like them to continue to add more Pokemon for years to come when it comes to like keep Pokopia alive. I think that that is a fantastic idea if they keep doing it. Even if
Yep.
even if it is like even if they do paid DLC again, um, have like if they do like some free DLC, some paid DLC, just every now and again, just to bring in more Pokemon. I think that that would be absolutely fine. Um,
Agreed.
because this is a fantastic game, and like add more towns, add more like just thinking about this specifically is like Bubbly Basin is we still don't know what town Bubbly Basin is when it comes to the Kanto towns, but
True.
each of the other places are specific towns in the game. Like it's Fuchsia, um, Viridian, and frickin' why am I blanking on Pewter? And then I'm blank. I always forget what the Saffron is. It Saffron that's the last one, or is it the
I
other
think
one?
so.
It's either Saffron or the other city that I keep forgetting what they're freaking called. Um, but yeah, the thing is, like, when it comes to Pokopia specifically, um, like it's currently just the Kanto region, right?
Right.
So I don't know. They could if they wanted to, they could absolutely add like all of the different oh, it's Celadon. It's not Saffron. I keep thinking that's Saffron, but it's Celadon.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we have Pewter, we have Pallet Town, we have Viridian City, we have Celadon. I think I said all of them. But yeah, we have those five cities. Um and Pallet Town, or I should say four cities in Pallet Town. Um well, we don't have uh we still have quite a few towns that are not in Pallet Town that are not around. I do think that there is a high probability that Bubbly Basin is well, if it sank into the ocean, if there are two towns that could have sunk into the ocean, Saffron and Lavender Town.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that the one that makes the most sense to have sunk into the water would be that of uh the fire one. Why am I blanking on its name?
Yeah.
The one with the volcano.
Saffron.
Saffron. Thank you, Saffron City. Um, So I think that most likely, not necessarily guarantee, but most likely the town that we're missing is yeah, freaking uh that is probably or no, it's Cinnabar Island, right? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Cinnabar Island. So that's probably the one that it is. So we'll probably see. Yeah, my guess is that it's going to be Cinnabar Island. Um, Saffron, right? No. Yes.
Yeah.
Saffron City and um
Celadon,
And
lavender.
lavender, saffron and lavender, those two could possibly end up being being bubbly basin, but also I don't necessarily think that that's gonna be the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess technically, um, the if they want to do an ice town for the last town that they're adding, um, probably the one that makes the most sense is Cerulean, because
Yes.
Cerulean Cave is an ice cave. So that could be what's going on there. And,
Makes sense.
and like maybe it just like it got cold for whatever reason. Um but yeah. I don't know. It's really hard to say at this point like what they want to do with all of this. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hopeful for Pokopia. I hope that Pokopia continues to make some really good decisions and continues to be a fantastic game for years and years to come. Um every now and again I do take a break from it. But I do like to come back pretty often. So, yeah, and I think that that's a good statement to make for Pokopia. It's a fantastic game, and I hope that everyone is going to be as excited as we are to check out the DLC when it comes out. I'm going to take a little bit of time before I actually play the DLC, the paid DLC, but I do want to check out the standard, like the free version when it comes out.
Yeah.
Um, Even if it's like a very small thing. But yeah. So yeah, a few things. Like I said, this is the last nerd chat that is going to be numbered. It is not the last nerd chat. It's just the last numbered one because continuing to go on after this is just going to get insane. Um, like we could have stopped at 200, but we decided that we would stop at 190 because that seems like a decent number to stop at. Um, and yeah, so that's that. But also this week is the sorry, not 10 year, 11-year anniversary of the channel, which is insane. So we're there's not going to be too much. It's not going to be like a huge celebration, but I will be probably talking a little bit about that during the reset day stream on Tuesday for Final Fantasy 14 and like all that's happened over the past 11 years, which that it really is insane to think about. But also, uh yeah, this week is actually pure chaos, all things considered, because not only is Pokopia coming out on Wednesday, Switch players are getting access to Final Fantasy 14 on Tuesday. Um
Which is crazy.
yeah, the obviously it's the 11-year anniversary of the channel. Um And yeah, there's a lot going on. And Spider-Man just came out yesterday. So oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so much going on right now. Um we have a lot that we can discuss over the next few weeks. So maybe I'm not certain what we'll be doing for next week. My thinking is probably either uh Jack's first thoughts on Final Fantasy or I don't know what maybe like maybe we just discuss the Pokopia DLC like the free version or something. I don't know. But anyways, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's nerd chat and are looking forward to the next one, and we will see you guys next time. But on